Vivienne Jolie-Pitt, the 16-year-old daughter of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, was recently spotted in New York City running errands on a hot day. She was dressed in a plain white t-shirt and light-colored pants, appearing relaxed and mature. What made this moment notable was how rarely Vivienne appears in public. She has mostly kept a low profile and lives in Los Angeles with her family. Just a few weeks earlier, she had been seen walking in Los Angeles with her twin brother Knox, which makes her presence in New York unexpected for many. But Vivienne is not in the city for leisure. In the year 2024, she spent a significant amount of time in New York to support her mother's Broadway production. Angelina Jolie was the producer of the stage adaptation of The Outsiders, and Vivienne worked as a volunteer assistant during the production process. In an interview with People magazine, Angelina Jolie shared that Vivienne was very serious about her job and often reminded her mother about tasks and schedules. Jolie described her daughter as a hardworking assistant who takes her responsibilities seriously. Vivienne and her mother also attended the 2024 Tony Awards together. They wore matching outfits and walked the red carpet side by side. That night, The Outsiders won 4 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. It was a significant night for the production and a meaningful moment for the Jolie-Pitt family, especially for Vivienne, who played a small but committed role behind the scenes. Vivienne's interest in theater is not driven by attention. According to Angelina Jolie, her daughter does not want to be in the spotlight, but prefers to support others from behind the scenes. She is focused, curious, and respectful of the work. Jolie said Vivienne reminds her of her own late mother. At only 16 years old, Vivienne is quietly building her own identity, separate from the fame of her parents. Meanwhile, Brad Pitt is also beginning a new phase in his personal life. After years of legal battles, his divorce from Angelina Jolie was finalized in late 2024. Since then, he has been more open about his relationship with Inés de Ramón, a jewelry executive whom he began dating in late 2022. In early 2024, Inés reportedly moved in with Brad Pitt, and the couple has been seen together at several public events. Most recently, they attended the New York premiere of Pitt's new film F1 and were seen having dinner with friends, including Bradley Cooper and Gigi Hadid. Sources close to Brad Pitt say that he is in a good place emotionally. He is happy, more relaxed, and feels supported in his relationship with Inés. People around them say she brings calm into his life and that their relationship is solid and low-key. This marks a clear change from the chaotic years following the divorce, when his public image was often shaped by rumors and legal headlines. However, not everything in the family appears to be fully resolved. Some of Brad Pitt's children, including Shiloh and Vivienne, have recently taken steps to remove Pitt from their names and official documents. Vivienne is now credited as Vivienne Jolie in the official listing for The Outsiders. This change has drawn attention and raised questions among fans. While neither Angelina Jolie nor Brad Pitt has commented publicly on the matter, the decision seems to reflect the children's desire to define their own identities as they grow older. The relationship between the parents and their children remains complex. Angelina Jolie has stated in multiple interviews that she prioritizes her children above everything and has worked hard to provide them with stability. She refers to her 6 children as her closest companions and has focused her life around their well-being since the divorce. She also said that she encourages her children to find their own paths and maintain a normal life as much as possible. Vivienne's work on Broadway appears to be one example of that approach, learning, working, and growing without pressure or public exposure. Brad Pitt, on the other hand, has expressed his intention to maintain connections with his children. Reports suggest that he still sees Knox and Vivienne occasionally, and is making an effort to stay involved in their lives. Still, the emotional distance caused by years of legal conflict and limited contact is something the family continues to work through. For fans who have followed the Jolie-Pitt family over the years, these recent developments show growth, independence, and quiet changes. Vivienne is developing into her own person. She works quietly but with confidence. She supports her mother. She is gaining experience. And while she may not currently have a close public relationship with her father, there is no drama or disrespect. It is simply the reality of a family that has been through many challenges and is now moving forward in different directions. Brad Pitt seems to be doing well in his personal life. He appears content with Inés, and their relationship is progressing steadily. Angelina Jolie continues to build creative projects and raise her children with a strong sense of purpose. And Vivienne, in the middle of it all, seems to be choosing her own path. Not loud, not dramatic, just focused and steady. Brad Pitt may have won in court, but Angelina Jolie has won the family war. Everything now seems to have reached a turning point, as the children Brad Pitt shares with his ex-wife appear to be moving further away from him. Although Brad Pitt, now 61 years old, has recently scored a number of legal victories against Angelina Jolie, 50 years old, it is Jolie who seems to be coming out ahead when it comes to their children. According to page 6, several of their children no longer use the Pitt surname. One source close to Pitt described the situation as deeply upsetting, stating that Jolie has used the children as a weapon against him. She has separated them from him. There is a pattern. Whenever he wins something in court, she responds by doing something with the kids, the source said. Brad Pitt has been locked in a custody battle with Jolie since their 2016 separation, and things have only grown more bitter with time. He was granted joint custody in 2021, but that decision was later overturned. Just weeks ago, Tony Webb, the family's former security guard, filed court documents claiming that Jolie had encouraged the children to, quote, avoid visiting their father. Now their daughter Shiloh has officially filed to remove Pitt from her legal name. Multiple sources confirmed that Shiloh hired and paid for her own lawyer upon turning 18 on May 27 to complete the name change. Page 6 reviewed the paperwork filed by Los Angeles attorney Peter K. Levine on Shiloh's behalf. She signed the documents using the name Shiloh Jolie. However, some of Pitt's acquaintances questioned who was really behind this move, suggesting that people should draw their own conclusions about the influence at play. Their eldest son, Maddox, now 23 years old, has been studying in South Korea and reportedly has no relationship with Pitt. He dropped Pitt from his name in 2021 and now uses only Jolie. In the credits of the Broadway musical The Outsiders, which Angelina Jolie produced, their daughter Vivienne, age 16, is listed as Vivienne Jolie. It remains unclear whether her twin brother Knox still uses their father's surname. Both twins will soon turn 17. Meanwhile, their daughter Zahara, now 20 years old, introduced herself as Zahara Marley Jolie when she joined the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority at Spelman College in November of last year. Their son Pax, 21 years old, made headlines in 2020 with a scathing Father's Day post on Instagram where he wrote, "Happy Father's Day. You repeatedly show that you are a terrible and despicable person. You have no consideration or empathy for your 4 children who tremble in fear when they see you." Angelina Jolie filed for divorce in September 2016, following a flight from Nice to the United States. She alleged that Brad Pitt had grabbed and choked one of the children and struck another when they tried to defend her. Jolie also claimed that Pitt poured alcohol on her and the children. The Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services cleared Pitt of any wrongdoing, and no charges were filed. Both Oscar-winning actors have been in ongoing disputes over custody and shared property since then. One source close to Pitt said, "Brad acknowledges that his behavior on the plane was wrong. He has taken steps to become a better person." In fact, Pitt told GQ magazine in 2017 that he had quit smoking and drinking. However, an industry source said that Jolie believes Pitt never truly apologized for what happened on that flight. The twins, Knox and Vivienne, are the only minor children remaining under visitation agreements with Pitt. However, sources admit that even when Pitt sees them, it is very difficult. Beyond the custody battle, Pitt and Jolie are also involved in a financial dispute over Chateau Miraval, the French winery and estate they once co-owned. Jolie sold her 50% stake, worth $62 million United States dollars, to Russian billionaire Yuri Shefler in 2021, which Pitt claims violated their original agreement. Last month, a Los Angeles Superior Court judge ordered Jolie to produce any contracts she signed with third parties between 2014, the year they got married, and 2022. Some critics argue that Jolie should not have sold her share in the estate, but should have preserved it for the children's future. This is all for her benefit, another source claimed. Separating the children from their father and selling her stake in Miraval, how does that help the kids? Everything related to Brad Pitt seems to be calculated or staged to hurt him as much as possible, with no regard for the long-term damage it might cause the family. Brad Pitt is currently filming an untitled movie about Formula One racing and living in Los Angeles with his girlfriend, Inés de Ramón. Meanwhile, Angelina Jolie appears more confident than ever, recently attending the Los Angeles premiere of Reefer Madness the musical on May 31st with daughter Vivienne, who was there to support actress Kristen Bell. A source close to Pitt noted, he continues to refuse to say anything negative about the children's mother, no matter how much she has tried to separate him from them. He does not comment on his kids in public. As for the future, friends have been telling Pitt to stay hopeful. As the kids grow up and begin living their own lives, one person said, he can only hope they will eventually let go of the past.